Okay, so we are going to again factor, but today everything you factor, you're going to set equal to 0 and solve. Yesterday we did prime leading coefficients. 1, 2, 3, 5. Did you have a 7 in there at all?
Yeah.
Okay, so 1, 3, 5, 7. Any of those, I do them exactly like that. When I get into like 13 and stuff, I probably am using this method just because it's a fail-safe and I just go to it. So remember, ax squared plus bx plus c is standard form. And when I factor it, the factors of a are first and the factors of c are second. And how do I get b? I combine this multiplication with that multiplication. Yes? Okay. So when we do not have a prime leading coefficient, we're going to use the complete x. I still don't draw the x, but I'm going to use it. And then I'm going to factor by grouping. I don't know why I drew it up there. Up here, it's a times c, correct? And on the bottom, what goes down here? B. So we were doing that yesterday, but we didn't have to do the whole factoring by grouping and everything because we were thinking about what happens with our multiplication. So today we're just going to factor. It says factor completely. I'm going to tell you anything on a test, I will say factor, and that means factor completely. If it's not factor completely, it's not done. So 40r squared minus 240r, what do I need to do? What? How many are? How much?
40.
How about 40?
Sure.
Yeah? Because 4 goes into 24 and it's 240, so 40r. So that leaves me with what?
1 and 6.
How about r?
R minus 6.
R minus 6?
Yeah.
Oh, right here say factor completely and solve. Add your and solve, please. Okay, so now once I factored, I set both things equal to what? 0. So on the left, I would divide 0 by 40 and get what? 0 divided 40 ways is 0.
Yeah.
And on the right, I have r minus 6 equals 0, so r equals 6. So you are going to factor and solve every problem. Number 7, 60v squared minus 258v minus 54. 6? You think 6 goes in there? Yeah, because 6 goes into 25, 4, carry a 1, and then yeah. Okay, so 6, and can I do a v? No. So what do I get?
Minus
6 goes into 25, how many times? 4, carry a 1.
So 6, 46?
How many times is 6 going to 18?
3.
3.
3, my bad.
So 43v minus 9. So 10 is not prime, is it? 9 is prime. So you could do the same way you did yesterday. No, 9 is not prime. Never mind. Okay, so now I take a times c. So I get what? Negative 90. Yeah? So that means my two things are going to subtract. Correct? To get what? Negative 43. So what are the factors of 90 that when you subtract them, you get 43?
Negative 45 and positive 2.
45 and 2.
Okay, negative 45 and positive 2.
Yeah.
So we could do this without it. I wouldn't be doing the whole thing, but I'm going to do the whole thing for you. Okay, so we're going to take these two right here, replace this 43. Correct? because negative 45 plus 2 is 43. Yes? So we're going to write it as 10v squared minus 45v plus 2v minus 9. This 6 will come down to our answer, but we're not going to do anything. It's going to come down here. Remember factoring by grouping, right? So what do the first two have in common?
They both have V.
They both have a v and a 5. So I have 5v. So what do I have left?
2 and 9.
2v minus 9. Okay. The next one, whatever this sign is what you put. And what do these next two things have in common?
No, nothing.
Well, they're always a 1. So did I do this right?
What about the 6?
And it's going to come down to my answer. That's why I circled it and put an arrow.
Not the answer?
Nope.
Why?
Just, did I do it right?
Yeah.
How do I know? Brandon?
How'd you get the 5v then?
I factored out these two.
Oh, okay.
How do I know I'm right here? Both of the quantities are the same. If the quantities are not the same, you didn't do it right. So I'm going to factor it again. What does the first term have in common with the second term? 2v minus 9. When I factor that out, what am I left with?
5v.
5v plus 1, and I put a what in front of it all?
6.
6.
Wait, we did this last year.
Yes, you did, and the year before. And you said everything equal to what now? 0. So, can 6 equal 0 without a variable? No. So it's not a solution. Okay? Now I have 2v minus 9 equals 0. How would I solve that?
Plus the 9 over.
Add the 9 and divide by 2. So I would get 9 halves. Because we should be able to do that in our heads, yes? If you can't, you have to do it to the side. So 5v plus 1 equals 0. How would I solve that?
Add the 1 over and divide by
I would not add the 1 over. Subtract the 1 over and divide by 5. And get what?
1/5.
Negative 1 over 5?
Yeah.
I personally would have to fix this because it bugs me if it's not. I always write the smaller one and then the bigger one. Because if I use it to graph, wouldn't it be nice to go from left to right? We did all of this last year. You did in Algebra 1. Except, I think we set it equal to 0 last year too. Okay, next one. Negative 9x squared minus 98 minus 80.
No.
Because 9 doesn't go into 80, does it?
Just 3?
No.
No.
Well, 3 doesn't go into 80.
Well, I didn't know that. How was I supposed to know this? Name?
What should I factor out of this?
Negative.
The negative. So then I'm left with what?
squared plus 98 x and
Plus 80.
plus 80.
Okay, so 9 times 80 is?
Couldn't tell you.
Well, you know 9 times 8.
720.
So 720. And it's a positive, so we're adding, yes? To get what?
98.
98. So both of them are going to be plus
9 times 80.
9 times 80.
Or no, 90 times 8. 'Cause
Yes,
it's
90 times 8.
9.
Yes. I was writing that down going, no, there's something wrong. Okay. So now, what do I do with 90 and 8?
Put them into the problem first.
I put them in for the 98. I'm not going to do anything with this negative 1. I'm going to bring it down to the bottom. So I have 9x squared plus 90x plus 8x plus 80. Do not forget to put your x's with it, because if you don't, it's not going to work right. So now what? A 9 and a x.
And then you're going to be left with 1x plus 10.
Yeah. So I have a plus here, so it's going to be a positive. If it's a negative, things switch signs, right? And what does 8x plus 80 have in common? 8. So I'm left with. So am I right so far?
Yeah.
How do I know?
Because both of the qualities are the same.
Both of the quantities are the same. So my solution is negative. Where'd the negative come from?
On top,
Okay. What's the answer?
x plus 10 and
Negative
parentheses
times x
and
plus
9x
10.
plus 8.
So I've factored now, right? This is factored.
Set it equal to 0.
So set it equal to 0. So negative 1 equals 0. Does negative 1 equal 0? No. If it was negative x, would it equal 0? Yes, it'd be, okay. So x equals what and what?
10 and
Nope.
neg-
Negative 10, because you have to solve that equation. So negative 10,
8 9.
how about negative 8/9? You guys have to watch those negatives and positives, yes? So if we can do it the way we did yesterday, would we do it that way? Like if you could. Was it quicker yesterday?
Yeah, but this is easier.
I think the other way is easier. Could I use this method on yesterday's if I wanted to?
Yes.
Yes. I don't care which method you use. I care that you are efficient and accurate. What does efficient mean?
Yeah, I can do it quickly.
You can do it quickly. And accurate means you can do it
Correctly.
correctly. I do not, does everyone hear me? I do not care how you factor as long as it is quick and right. Got me? Okay, because this is the last time I'm teaching factoring. I expect you to know how to do it. Because you've been taught it. This is several times, right? So now we need to perfect it. If you are struggling on factoring even after yesterday and today, then you need to come to me and we need to figure out what you're struggling with. Because factoring never goes away. In calculus right now, we're factoring with fractional exponents. So if you can't factor like this, can you ever factor the fractional exponents? No. Okay. Is there one more on the back you want to do? Because I really don't think they get like... It might get big numbers, but that doesn't, I mean, that's just going to take you a minute.
20.
20?
Right now.
That's kind of rude.
Pretty please. Sorry, that was a little rude.
Okay. What do you want to do on 20 first?
You
8
take
or
40
6 out?
Can't you take 48 out of it? Or no?
Well, 48. Well, 48 times 4 would have to give you a 2, right? So that would be 2 carry a 3. That wouldn't be 252. And I don't want to take 48 times 12.
So you can take 12 out of it?
4. You can take 4.
I know I can take 4.
You can probably take 8.
You want to try 8? Okay.
Can you take it out?
I don't know. I know I can take it out of 48. So 8 goes into 25. Nope, can't take 8.
What about 6?
Well, 6, 2, and 3 have to go into it. So 3 goes into 48, yes? Okay, because I'm just adding up the digits, right? 3 goes into 162, yes? 252?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so we going to do 6?
Yeah.
So 6 and 4, maybe 12 does. I don't know. 6. So we get 8. 6 goes into 25. How many times?
4.
4, then carry a 1.
42.
42M. 6 goes into 16
Twice.
twice with a 4.
7.
7. Yeah. 4 doesn't go in it. All right, we got 8, and the only factors of 8 are 2, 2, and 2, right? Basically, and 2 doesn't go into 27, so are we done? Now, if I did factor it by 3 and saw that they were all even when I'm done, should I factor out the 2 also?
Yes.
Yes. And then you just take the 2 times 3, and it's 6. Okay, now what?
Times 8 by 27.
8 times 27? So 8 times 7 is...
56.
So 6, carry a 5. 8 times 2 is
16.
plus 5.
21.
21.
So are we going to add or subtract?
Add.
Add. They're both going to be what?
Positive.
Positive. And we have to get what? That was weird. 42. Now, I'm going to tell you the way I start, guys, is always with what I was given. I was given 8 and 27. Is 8 plus 27 42? No. Now, the next way to do it when you have big numbers is this. What is the prime factorization of 8? 2 times 2 times 2. Yes? So 2 times 2 times 2. What is the prime factorization of 27?
3 times 3 times 3.
3 times 3 times 3. So these are the numbers that I can switch all around and multiply them any way I want to try to get two numbers that add to 42. Does that make sense what I'm saying? But because if I do this, then my brain can move things around. Rather than listing the fact, do you want to list the factors of 216? No. And I never even thought of 216, did I? I thought of 8 and what? 27. Because I already know 8 times 27 is what? 216? So let's rearrange them. Well, 8 times 3 is what?
24.
24 plus 9 isn't 42, is it? No. What about
What's 27 times 2?
27 times 2 is 50.
54.
4.
Yeah, 50, so it's big. What about 9 times 4?
36.
36, and then plus 6.
36 plus 6.
Oh, yeah.
Do you see how moving around those numbers, you can do that? So I got 36 and 6. And go for it.
It's funny how you write from left to right and I write the big number on right from the small.
I always write the big number because then when I do my negative or positive with it, I subtract, I always put it on that side. Just one of those things that I do so I don't make a mistake. Bless you.
Hey, I got that.
Oh, but I didn't think it's gonna.
Hmm?
What thingy?
Oh.
And don't forget to solve for M.
How did you get it again?
How did I get what?
The M equals.
I subtracted 3 divided by 4, subtracted 9 divided by 2. You're setting both. It's just a mini equation. So, did factoring go okay? Did solving go okay? Okay.
I almost forgot my negatives, but that's okay.
See, if what I would do if I was doing this problem, and if you ever watch me do the problems, I would do this, and I get 36 and 6, and I would just go straight to here, and I need 6, and I need 36, so 36 would be 4 and 9, so I'd put a 4 here and a 9 here, because there's my 36.
Yeah, but that's 2.
And then so the other factor of 4 of 8 is 2. The other factor of 9 of 27 is 3.
Yeah, I wouldn't think like that.
Because I'm using what? The same thing I just did, right? When I was a kid, they made you list all the factors of 8. They made you list all the factors, they made you list all the factors of 216, and that was gross. But I factor straight like this usually. As long as I can get to this, I usually jump here.
Yeah, but now
Um, I will tell you guys, when you get here, are you done? Is this the answer? Is it x plus
no.
or m plus 36, m plus 6? No. When you do this, you're not even halfway done, are you? You have to plug it back into the equation.
That was my mistake last week.
Yep. And that's a lot of people's. They get here and they're like, ooh, there's the answer.
I like
If
this way so much better.
Then do it. If you like this way, then do it. But when I factor, I probably won't do it. I may start the x, but I probably am not going to do all this. Okay? Does it matter that you and I do it differently? Nope. We better always get the same answer, yes? Okay. So, here's your homework. Don't forget to solve.